Hello everyone, Daniel Yuck here. Thanks for tuning in today. I want to go ahead and bring you an in-depth review on Intenze Zuper Black tattooing ink. This is my new favorite ink. This is probably my go-to black ink. I want to go ahead and just shed as much light as possible for you all. We're going to go ahead and see how this ink looks on some fake skin here. We're going to go ahead and even pour some up so we can get an up-close look at the actual ink itself. But as you all can see, this is the bottle right here. A product of Intenze. It is called Zuper Black. As you can see, it says blacker than black. And this is the back of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you all a bottle tour right here. At any point, feel free to pause the video. So as you can see, this is from Intenze. It is Zuper Black. I will go ahead and drop a link down below in the description so that way you can go ahead and pick up a bottle on your end. This bottle right here, if I'm correct, it is 12 ounces. Yes, it is 12 ounces. And again, I will drop the link in the description below for you. This is, this ink is different from any other black ink that I've used. I've used like Black Pearl, Allegory, I've used Dynamic, and several others. And those were all great as well. But this one specific stuck out to me, and this is just the one that became my go-to. Again, I'm gonna mess around with more and I'm gonna see what else is out there. But for right now, if I were to reach for black, it'd probably be this one right here, the Zuper Black. It is thicker than usual ink. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually pour some up and I'm gonna show you all. But there's not really much that I can say, but more so I can show you all. So let's just go ahead and shake this bottle up here a bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get some caps, and we're gonna actually pour some caps up and let you all see the ink here. All right, so we have the bottle nice and shook up here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pour some ink up close on the camera for you all, so that way you guys can see. This is actually the locking mechanism on the bottle, which actually is pretty effective. Let me go ahead and get a cap though, and I want to pour some ink on camera so that way you guys can see the texture of the ink. As you can see, it's a thick black. I'm a fan that it's thick like that because upon putting this ink into the skin, it saturates the skin and the lines, and or if you have like gray wash, it all breaks down well and it saturates the skin real nice and even, I feel. That's why I'm a big fan of this black here. To me, it just feels like it's really dense, you know? So like upon putting the ink again into the skin, it just feels like it does it quite well. Let me see if I can actually zoom in. Let's go ahead and pour some here. You can see as it drips, it's a very thick black, as you can see. Let's do it again over here. It's not runny at all. And that is what attracted my attention to this ink specific. That is why this is my go-to ink. Upon pulling lines with it, and you know, especially if you're looking for saturation, if you're gonna pack black, large areas of black, I would definitely reach for the Zuper Black just because it's more dense. Like it is blacker than black. It's a really dense ink there, and you can see upon pouring it, it doesn't run at all when I was doing that. It feels right when you pour it. Some inks I've had that it kind of felt like water, and I never really felt comfortable using those, so I would just stray from those inks. But this one specific, again, did stand out. I like this ink personally. This is my ink that I've been using, and this is what I'm going to use for the foreseeable future until I find something else that I do like. I would like to actually jump into the performance side of the tattoo ink. Let's go ahead and set up a little tattoo, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually run some of this black ink into a tattoo, and then we're gonna go ahead and see how it goes. Okay, so I wanted to give you all like a really up close look here on pouring the Intenze ink. I wanted to let you all see the consistency. That's the point of this video. I'm trying to let you all see the consistency of the ink there. It's super dense. So especially if you're looking for an ink to pack black, this is definitely the ink that is gonna do the job for you. I'm a big fan of how this ink saturates. I personally love the Intenze Zuper Black ink. Again, let's go ahead and jump over to the performance side. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my CNC WE tattoo machine. We're gonna be pushing a 14 round shader, and we're gonna go ahead and do this little rose here. We're gonna outline this rose right here with the Intenze Zuper Black, and we're gonna see how it goes. But as I'm doing this tattoo, the Zuper Black, I'm actually liking it. It's very saturated. It's a very saturated black. I'm getting used to the 14 round shader right now. As you can see though, it's a very dark black. As you can see, I'm liking the way that it's actually putting the black in there. I'm not sure if it's because that's how dense the actual, ink is, or, I'm sure it's a combination of everything. There's multiple variables to consider. However, nonetheless, I'm actually liking the way that this ink packs black. I'm loving the way that it looks. Let's go ahead and switch over to a time-lapse mode so we can go ahead and speed through this process, and I'll go ahead and give you all opinions after I'm done with this rose tattoo. All right, so we are back. The outline is complete, and I loved the entire process of outlining with the Zuper Black. It was seamless. It was awesome. It actually, my idea of it being so dense was going to make it easier to pack was kind of proven. And silicone skins are a lot tougher than real skin, like, human actual skin. So that says a lot about the ink itself already. What I also wanted to do is I wanted to get a 3-round liner, and I want to try some shading on here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to shading, and we're just going to do straight black. I didn't make any sort of gray wash for the Zuper Black. So we're going to get a 3-round liner, go straight Zuper Black, and add some shades, and then we're going to go ahead and see how that goes as well. I wanted to go ahead and give you an up close look here. I will be releasing a video on how I approach stippling, so be on the lookout for that. Now, what I am noticing is with the Intenze, even the Zuper Black, I'm using a very light pressure, so I'm going just over the surface of the skin. This approach would give me a lot more time to work on a specific part of the skin because I like to build up my shading. I don't like to just go straight into the black. I like to actually build up from lighter tones. That's just the way that I approach it. And even with the Zuper Black is completely capable of that, which kind of leads me to believe that it'd be cool for making a gray wash as well. So I'm pretty sure you can get really nice gray washes from the Zuper Black. Upon using the Zuper Black though, I don't notice anything, out of the ordinary, anything adverse, or anything that I would say that I don't like about it. I am using a very low voltage. If I'm correct, I'm around 5 volts, 5.5, 6 in that area. And I'm using a 3-round liner, and I'm using very light hand pressure when I go over there. And as you can see, I'm putting some stipples in there with a little bit of whip, so that way it gives it a soft blend here, as you can see. And I'm just gonna approach the entire rose like this with the Zuper Black. I'm gonna be patient. I don't wanna damage the skin either. And these are just, you know, techniques that I'm developing, so that way upon stippling on human skin, I'll know how to behave and I'll know what not to do. You can kind of just proceed here. As you can see, I'm getting a real smooth and soft shading blend, which is what I was going for. I was wanting a smooth and soft gradient look. I didn't want something heavy dark or heavy dense black, although I'm sure that this is completely capable of doing so. And then we're just gonna repeat this process through the entire tattoo. Just gotta be really patient with this process. You're putting in literal dot by dot by dot. That's building up that gradient effect for shading. And again, I'm gonna go more real in depth with this on my stippling video that I'm gonna be releasing here for you all soon. But nonetheless, as you all can see, I'm getting a really nice soft shade there with the Intenze Zuper Black ink. Even though this ink is designed to be really dense and really black, getting soft shades. And mind you, this isn't a gray wash, this is straight black. What's making it soft like this is the pressure of my hand with this voltage of my machine. So it's not any gray wash. I'm going just straight black from the ink that we poured up earlier in the video to this specific canvas. No gray wash, just to confirm and reiterate. It's just my hand speed, my voltage, and the pressure of my hand in which I'm putting the ink into. Let's go ahead and switch back over to a time-lapse mode. Let's finish up this rose right here, the shading, and I'll come back and let you all see it up close, and I'll give you all my final opinion on this ink. Alright, so we are now done with this tattoo, and as you can see, we got a very nice and soft shading there with the Intenze Zuper Black. I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to vary from person to person. For me, I just used a light touch. I worked off the very tip of my needle, and I just took my time to get a soft shading, and it is just straight black, Zuper Black. I didn't make any gray wash. I will make an entirely different video on how I make my gray washes for a smooth shading. But for this video, I wanted to demonstrate this entire rose right here was done with the Intenze Zuper Black. The shading was done with the Zuper Black. Everything was just a straight Zuper Black, nothing broken down. I just wanted to confirm and reiterate that. If we zoom out, you can see it's a very smooth shape. If you zoom in, you got a very cool textured look there, as you can see. For me personally, I definitely give the Intenze Zuper Black a thumbs up, as it did its job. It did great. I didn't have any negatives to say about it. It is a very dense and dark black. I feel that the skin would accept and take it a lot more. If I didn't touch base on anything specific that you may have wanted to know throughout this video, please drop it in the comments below, and I'm going to do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. If you're not, be sure to give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as I would genuinely appreciate your support as well. Thank you for tuning in this long yet again. You all have a great day.